I'm Debbie Ingram, and I'm running for the Democratic nomination for Lieutenant Governor. And this is our virtual tour of Vermont. This week, we're going to Orleans County in the Northeast Kingdom. Come along. If we look at Orleans County by the numbers, we see that the population is 27,000. The percentage of non-white population is quite low at 3.8%. Unfortunately, the population living above the poverty line is pretty high. It's 12.2% compared to 11.0% across the rest of the state. So we would expect to see the median family income be low, and it is at about 46,000 compared to 57,000. The home prices are also lower at 152,900 compared to 217,000. And the rent is $736 a month compared to $945 a month. There's a fairly substantial number of farms at 558. So, folks, I have with me today Chief Don Stevens from the Nulhegan branch of the Abenaki tribe, and I'm very grateful for you being with me today, Chief.
McWay, hello.
Please tell us about your role as chief and a little bit about the Abenaki people in Vermont and what different branches there are.
Yeah, basically I'm the chief of the Nulhegan Band of the Coosuk Abenaki Nation. It's a big, long word. But basically our tribe is primarily in the Northeast Kingdom, but we do have a presence all over Vermont and New England, and throughout the country we have citizens. We're one of the largest, if not the largest tribe in Vermont. I think we're comparable to Missisquoi. And they're in Franklin County, like Alberta, Grand Isle area. And then there's El New, which is like in the Windham County area, small tribe. And then the Coosuk, or the Coos Meadows, is primarily just Newberry and Haverhill, Orange County, basically. So we kind of cover Northeast Kingdom, kind of swings down through into Chittenden, down into Addison, sort of. But we all help each other.
Also, I think the ethnic studies bill that we passed, that was something that I was particularly interested in, as I said, on Senate Education. But I hope that helps to inform our school children about the contributions of Indigenous peoples and the benefits of having a diverse population. Were you involved in that?
Yeah, I have my hands in a lot of the things that deal with Native issues. So that was H.9, the Ethnic Study Bill, which did pass, but it created a council or a panel of Indigenous and people of color and other groups to come up with recommendations to present to the legislators to then offer to the school systems to provide studies through the K through 12 system. So I think where we're at right now, the ethnic bill that created that commission to make the recommendations is ongoing. I think it's got a 3-year reporting date to get back to the legislators on recommendations. I think it includes the Department of Education and the State Board of Education. So I mean, that's in the process. So I'm hoping that will achieve education, because as you know, without education, there's ignorance left in the gap, and people usually are afraid of things they don't understand. So if we can educate people on that we're still here and that the culture is still alive and that we have a lot to offer, I think it will really help with the changes that are happening now in social justice reforms. And also, we're kind of cool people, you know? I mean,
Something fun to do in Orleans County is that in Evansville, Vermont, there is an annual powwow of the clan of the Hawk, a tribe of the Coosuk Band of the Western Abenakis. And at this powwow, which last year celebrated its 30th gathering, there are all kinds of activities like the naming ceremony, which bestows the honor of earning an Abenaki name. There's music, especially drumming. There's all kinds of dance events. There's the local caught fish fry and demonstrations of 17th century art like finger weaving. It also has a lot of exciting events for kids, and unfortunately not taking place this year because of COVID, but I'm sure it will be back again very soon. I'm here today with Lucy Neal, who is a member of the Abenaki Nulhegan tribe, and she's been doing some work with school children.
I am the Title VI Indian Education Coordinator for the Nulhegan tribe. I've had the program, this is the 4th school year that I've had the program going. We go into, we're supported by the North Country Supervisory Union and the Orleans Central Supervisory Union. And we provide services to those schools in regards to Indian education, Abenaki education specifically. We teach mostly third graders. We do have schools that want us to go into the middle school, and we do go into the high school. And each level is a little different that we present. Basically, it's 3rd and 4th grade Vermont history. So we teach Vermont Abenaki history. And with that, we go back into pre-contact before the Europeans came. And we look at the lifestyle then, and we break down how was travel, what did we do for travel, what did we do for food, hunting, housing, gardening. We go through all of it, fire building, clothing, and music, of course, and drumming. And then we progress into when the Europeans came and how our lifestyles changed. Our old traditions became new traditions with the Europeans. And then we talk about Native people today.
Yeah, and do you feel like that Abenaki young people are interested in carrying on traditions and things? Do you feel like you're carrying the torch all by yourself, or how do you feel about that?
Both. When I do a presentation, I have a lot of kids come up and say, well, my great-grandmother or this or that was a Native woman or a Native man, and we weren't allowed to talk about it. And but on the same token, I see that the traditions and the history has been lost because a lot of these kids don't realize that they're Native. And we're talking maybe 4 generations ago, when it was hidden. And so, no. So that answer goes both ways. There's some of them have no idea. And then the ones that do, they seem to be fairly interested. But if it's not in the home, it's lost.
Yeah, and thank you so much for all you're doing for your community. It's really nice to talk to you.
Well, it keeps me busy. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
In Orleans County, you can go to the Brownington Village Historic District, which is home to the Old Stone House Museum. And that was the home of a fascinating man named Alexander Lucius Twilight. He was born on a Corinth farm in 1795 to Ichabod Twilight, who was a mixed race man who had fought during the Revolutionary War, and his mom was Mary, a white woman. In the Vermont 1800 census, the Twilights are listed under the racially ambiguous category of others free except Indians. Alexander Twilight had to work as an indentured servant on a farm from the ages of 8 up to 21. But then he entered Middlebury College in 1821 and graduated in 1823. And he's known as being the first African-American man to graduate and earn a bachelor's degree from an American college. After graduating, he went to Orleans County and became both the principal of the grammar school and the pastor of the local church. And so he was ordained through the Brownington Congregational Church. He had to resign due to lack of funds later, but he then focused efforts on building the Old Stone House, which was a boarding home to accommodate increased enrollment at the school, and he modeled it on buildings at Middlebury. Then in the 1830s, Twilight was elected to the Vermont General Assembly, and he became the first American of African descent to serve in a state legislature. So he is really an outstanding figure in Vermont history and not that well known, unfortunately. So let's fix that and spread the word about this fascinating person who lived in Orleans County. That's it for this week. I'm Debbie Ingram. I'm running for the Democratic nomination for Lieutenant Governor. And you can vote now by mail. Lots of people have requested their ballots, and they're due by August 11th. Or polls will be open as well. August 11th. Make sure you vote. Thank you.